Okay, this will be our last lecture in section 2.5. We're just going to do a couple of practice problems that throw all the concepts in this section really together. So number 45 or 46 here, we have two fractions being subtracted, but those fractions both have negatives in them. So down here in the denominator, they've tried to fool you, right? This whole thing with whether it's out in front or in the top or in the bottom, it's still a negative fraction. So I've thrown it into the top. The next thing that I'm going to do is going to change a subtraction problem to addition. So this says add the opposite of this. So this fraction is a positive. So I have a negative number and a positive number. I have to find my least common denominator and build the higher terms. So I found the prime factorization of 18 and 24, and I put those together to find that the LCD is 72. Now I've shown you here as well that trick of using the prime factorization from the LCD to find out what to multiply by. So we have, here's our 18, and 18 times 4 is what we'll have to multiply by. So by 4 down here and by 4 up here. So that tells us that our new numerator is 7 times 4, which is 28, and it is negative. Here, 24, here's 24, and then that leaves a 3 left over, so times 3. So times 3 up here. So 3 times 7 is 21, and that one is positive. Now when you have one positive number and one negative number, of course the thing that you're going to have to do is subtract them. So it's the big one, 28, minus the small one, 21, and when we're done, our answer is going to be negative because the big one was negative. 28 minus 1 is 7, and so that's the new numerator, and it is a negative answer. And 7 and 72, you see there's nothing in common there because 7's prime and it's not a part of the factors, and so we know we're done. Okay, moving on to our next one is an evaluation problem, number 47. So we have the opposite of x over y. So I've put in an extra set of parentheses to have this fraction here separated by saying the opposite of that. And so then I put in the 12 and the negative 18. And from there, I can simplify the 12/18. These have a 3 in common, a 6 in common. So 6 will go into 12 2 times, and 6 will go into 18 3 times. So now what this looks like is the opposite of, and it doesn't matter if this negative is in the top, the bottom, or out in front, it's a negative fraction. So it's a negative 2/3. And then we can read this as the opposite of negative 2/3, which of course is a positive 2/3. And that's our final answer. And that wraps up the section 2.5.